The Vietnam War was a long conflict that pitted the communist regime of North Vietnam and its southern allies, known as the Viet Cong, against South Vietnam and its ally, the United States. Vietnam was the longest war in American history and the most unpopular American war of the 20th century. It resulted in nearly 60,000 American deaths and an estimated 2 million Vietnamese deaths. It lasted almost 20 years. The period was November 1st, 1955 through April 30th, 1975. North Vietnam won the war. The North Vietnamese government and the Viet Cong were fighting to reunify Vietnam under communist rule. On 1965, 13-year-old Mary Beth Tinker wore a black armband to school to protest the Vietnam War. This was against the rules. She was warned by school authorities that it would get her suspended, but she still wore the armband. A U.S. District Court sided with the school, ruling that wearing armbands could disrupt learning. The students appealed the ruling to a U.S. Court of Appeals, but lost and took their case to the United States Supreme Court. This case was called Mary Beth Tinker and John Tinker versus Des Moines School District. In 1969, the United States Supreme Court ruled in a 7-2 decision in favor of the students. The High Court agreed that students' rights should be protected. Even though Mary Beth Tinker broke rules, she took a stand in history for what was right, because she risked her education and she helped students and kids to be able to have freedom rights. Because Mary Beth Tinker took a stand, the students were able to wear the black armbands to school. She helped students get freedom rights. Because of her, today students are able to speak, express, and have freedom of religion. Today, Mary Beth Tinker is a pediatric nurse, and she goes around and tells people about her experience. She is still an activist, and she gives speeches about why human rights are important. Mary Beth Tinker has inspired many people to stand up for what's right, even if they're frightened, and even if it means breaking the rules. She has shown that anybody can stand up for what's right, and it doesn't matter what age you are. She believes that all people should have equal rights. Here are Mary Beth Tinker's thoughts about First Amendment rights.
First Amendment rights need protection, and young people are the ideal ones to do that. The First Amendment is the right to speech, the right to a free press, the right to religion, the right to assemble, and the right to petition. All of these rights are so important for young people today if they're going to change the world. And that's what they want to do, because young people aren't going to accept that this is the best that we can do. They're speaking up to take the world forward, and they need all of these rights of the First Amendment in order to do that. In some ways,